Hi guys, Aussie here, and today I'm going to be doing I forgot what I was copying, just give me 1 minute. We're going to be doing a top 10 Eviolite Pokémon list. Are you ready? Hang on a minute, is he taking a mic? I'm not taking a mic. You're making a mockery out of your subscribers, innit? You can't take it on the chin that you copy. Just get over it, innit? This is me. And I swear you're not even a fairy type lover. Your favourite type is water. I like fairy types, but I also like water types. Am I not allowed to like both? You're a fraud, innit? Just play your intro and get on with it. Okay. Without further ado, here's my intro. Can someone play it for me? Hi guys, so I asked you last week to vote for either my top 10 Eviolite list or of a certain type. So for example, my favourite water type, fairy type, steel type, poison type, I've repeated myself 100 million times type, and by a landslide my top 10 Eviolite Pokemon list won. Before I do go into it, however, I do want to say that for some of these Pokemon I'm not going to go into in-depth detail. The main reason for that is because a lot of the Pokemon that I've chosen I do want to include in my Evolution Solution series. For those of you not aware of what my Evolution Solution series is, it's basically where I speak about a Pokemon and its evolutionary counterpart and discussing whether or not it's actually viable to use the unevolved self with Eviolite. So if you want to check that out, you can see it from where it all began with Spritzy. I'll place a link over here. Now for next week, whatever topic you want to see, comment them down below. Whichever one receives the most likes is going to be next week's video. But without further ado, let's count down my favourite 10 Eviolite Pokemon. Kicking off the list at number 10 is Dusclops. Now Dusclops is an absolute beast. He will take hits like a tank. With the correct EV spread, you can have approximately 539 in special defense and physical defense respectively. That's amazing. And with a teeny weeny investment in HP means that you're not going to be easy to take out. Give Dusclops a careful nature so it increases his special defense. That 10% boost in special defense is quite handy, and with the added bulk with Eviolite means you're definitely not going to be taken out anytime soon. Another nice gimmick to have is if Dusclops had the pressure ability, because that enables your opponent to use more PP, and again it just adds to the stalling, it adds to the gimmickry, it adds to the trickery. The suggested moveset I'd go for is Will-O-Wisp, just cause, you know, decrease your opponent's attack. I'd go for Seismic Toss for nice consistent damage. I'd go for Sucker Punch, just cause, and Pain Split because that's surprisingly quite useful. Try it. No, seriously, try it. Number 9, Gligar. Don't look at me like that, Gligar is actually really good with Eviolite. If you give Gligar the Sand Veil ability, I just think that's the best ability to give Gligar. Just add to the bulkiness, add to the tankiness. Give it the Impish nature for the extra physical defense. I think the best EV investment would be max health, max defense, and the rest you can sort of play around with. But the bread and butter for Gligar is Toxic, Roost, Earthquake, and you can either go for Taunt or Stealth Rock, it's completely up to you. I personally would go for Taunt, but Stealth Rocks is quite handy too. F you, Charizard. Number 8, Roselia. Now Roselia is one of my favourite Pokemon in general, but the main reason I'm included in this list is because I remember I made a catastrophic error in judgment for underestimating the power of Mini Roselia. I think there's a bit of a recurring theme here with the EV spread, but with Roselia it's perfect to give it max health, max defense, and the rest of the EV investment can go in special attack. Preferably with Eviolite Roselia, you'd want to give it the calm nature so it increases its special defense and decreases the attack, because Roselia's never going to use a physical attacking move anyway. Which makes me think actually, why the hell does Roserade and Roselia have access to Swords Dance? I mean, there might be some physical sets, I don't personally use it, but I think it's stupid. Now usually with Roserade I go for the Technician ability so she can really benefit from hidden power. However with Roselia, Natural Cure is probably the best because it adds to the bulkiness. If you want to choose to go for Rest, that's amazing because you can switch out and be awake. I would definitely recommend having Toxic Spikes or Spikes for entry hazards. You can go for Stun Spore if you really wanted to, Giga Drain for stab, and of course Sleep Powder if you wanted to, or go for Rest. It's totally up to you, but Roselia is such a versatile Pokemon. Yeah, she has a lot of weaknesses, but who doesn't? Number 7, Cypher. Now this selection might confuse you because I have an upcoming video about Cypher in my Evolution Solution series, and I didn't really take too kindly towards Cypher. I'm Team Scizor, or Scizor as some of you say. I just find that Scizor's a lot more useful than Cypher because yes, it's 4 times weak to fire, but that's its only weakness. However, when you look at Cypher, Stealth Rock damage is really going to hurt with that 4 times weakness to rock, with the addition of a weakness to flying, ice, fire. It's just like you have a 4 times weakness and other weaknesses on top of that. So the added bulk with Eviolite in special defense and defense isn't really going to benefit Cypher that much, if I'm completely honest. Cypher is supposed to hit hard and fast. It needs to make sure it one-hit KOs anything that gets in its way. Why have I included it in the list again? Well, it does kind of outplay Caesar in terms of its defense, and that's the main reason why I've included it in the list. And not only that, I know a lot of people like using Cypher, and I do agree, like, he is viable, but he's just not the best Eviolite user, and I don't think using Eviolite as an item slot is a very good sacrifice, which is why it's only at number 7. Number 6, Porygon 2. Now, the main thing you need to do with Porygon 2 with Eviolite is give it any nature that hinders its speed. Why, may you ask? Silly, you should know me by now. 2 words, Trick Room. It is one of the best Trick Room Pokemon, with the exception of Reuniqueous, Mushana, and Aromatisse. Max out its EV spread in hit points because that will be really tanky, and then you can choose to give it max defense, or you can go 126 in defense and 126 in special defense. You can play around with the EVs, which is what I really like. It's a bit of trial and error with Porygon 2, but he is definitely very, very viable in competitive play. I've already mentioned Trick Room should be one of the moves he should use, Recover because why not, Ice Beam if you really want to, and Tri Attack because that is Porygon 2's bread and butter. I don't think I've fought any Porygon Z or Porygon 2 that hasn't ever used Tri Attack. No, come on. Now I know I've not really given Porygon 2 much justice with my explanation because it's quite vague, but watch this space. Number 5, Doblade. Don't get me wrong, I love Aegislash, I think it's one of the better powerhouses in the metagame, but you cannot deny its younger brother Doblade is pretty amazing. What I like about Doblade is it can do anything Aegislash can do, but in a safer way. With access to a plethora of move pools, it's amazing. You can go for Iron Head, Protect, Sword Stance, you know, whatever. It's just such a versatile moveset he has access to, and it's just amazing. The possibilities are endless. Provided you give it the correct EV spread, you are looking at naturally over 600 in physical defense. Doblade also has access to Power Trick, so you can do a lot of fun gimmicky stuff with that. Seriously, try Doblade out. Number 4, Magma. These are Magma stats. These are Magmortar stats. Now, considering Magma has potential with Eviolite, so that's a 50% buff in its defense and special defense, let that sink in. No, really, let that sink in. That is amazing! That's all I'm really going to say about it, because no spoilers, but next week, I've got a Magma video in the Evolution Solution series. Number 3, Solosis. Not only does it have a beautiful design, in my opinion anyway, it has the ability Magic Guard. Now if you've watched my previous videos, you will know how much I love Magic Guard. It is one of the best abilities to possess, especially with a Pokemon like Solosis. With access to moves like Calm Mind and Recover, again Solosis is not going to be easy to take out. And with Solosis being one of the slowest Pokemon in the metagame, it can really benefit from Trick Room. Now with Trick Room, it's arguably one of the best Trick Room Pokemon after Aromatisse, but you can do a lot of fun stuff with it. And when you look at Solosis, when it sets up Calm Mind, it can exceed its special attack more than Porygon 2. That is amazing! What's great about Solosis as well is that it can sponge a lot of hits, and with the Magic Guard ability, it's unaffected by entry hazards, Leech Seed, Poison, well, not Paralysis, that's probably one of the worst things it can have, Paralysis, because it can't afford to miss a turn. But yeah, Toxic, Burn, it's unaffected. It's kind of like a better Clefable. I hate to say it, but it probably is. With that monstrous special attack stat, you are going to wreak havoc. For me personally, the EV spread would be max health, max defense, and the rest in special attack. And you can do a lot of fun stuff with it, especially with Calm Mind. The only thing ruling it out are Dark type Pokemon, and of course Pokemon with the ability Unaware. Number 2, Tangler. With its already bulky defenses, this thing with Eviolite gets even bulkier. Is that even feasible? You can use Tangler any way you want. It's such a versatile Pokemon. For me personally, I would use it as a very annoying, tanky, stally kind of Pokemon because it has access to moves like Leech Seed. I can't imagine anyone using Tangler without Leech Seed. I'm sorry, but I just think Leech Seed is its bread and butter. What's great about Tangler is that it also has a Regenerate ability, which is amazing. It's kind of like Lefties, so if you're hit with Knockoff, oh wait, no, you're going to be done for. In all seriousness, give it the bold nature, increase its defense, lower its attack because you're not going to use it anyway, with access to moves like Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, Giga Drain, and probably one of the most important moves to have is Substitute, because you can predict when someone's going to use a knockoff, potentially. I've actually fought a few fair share Tanglers with Eviolite, and let me tell you, it's no easy battle. And at number 1 is Chansey! Sorry, I'll never do that again. The main thing that Chansey has over Blissey is its bulky special defense and defense. It can really sponge a lot of hits. But I do have to reiterate, and I'm not copying, this is a genuine and popular opinion. Blissey can outshine Chansey with its higher hit point stat, which means it can recover more with lefties, and of course if it uses Wish it can recover more health. And basically Blissey can do a little bit more than what Chansey can, but Chansey is definitely giving Blissey a run for her money. Like I said in my Evolution Solution video, Generation 5 with the introduction of Eviolite is possibly the best thing that ever happened to Chansey, and maybe the worst thing to ever happen to Blissey. Now you might be thinking I'm being really vague. If you want more information on that, my Evolution Solution where I spoke about Chansey in the episode Take a Chansey, check that out. I'll place a link over here. Yes, I know, shameless advertising, but click that where I go into a lot more detail about Chansey. She's one of my favourite normal type Pokemon, so check that out, that will really help me out. But yeah, in a nutshell, those are my top 10 favourite Eviolite Pokemon. For next week's video, like I said, please vote in the comments below what you'd like to see. Whichever one receives the most likes will be next week's topic. Well, if you made it that far, well, you've got a lot of time on your hands in it. You might as well click that like button, because it'll help Ozymitsu out. And if you haven't pressed that subscribe button, how come? You might as well press that too. And I guess I might as well copy him. Until next time. What an idiot.